Hello, world. Welcome to the Wanderers Guild. Forbidden Lands, the Hanging Stones, session number 40. When last we left our heroes, we have just traveled beyond the Wolf's Belly Inn, where the group had some difficulty crossing, we could say. They arrived at the tavern to find it filled with Rust Brothers and a priestess of Heem. An inhospitable crew for their liking. Two members of the party crossed the bridge, one being smuggled. Relatively uneventfully, but the crossing was more difficult for Zoe and Ralgar. It was the two of you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
On trying to cross the river, they encountered some trouble, and there was a splitting of the party. Zoe agreed to go meet with the Rust Brothers because they seemed to have some interest in speaking with her. Some secret conversations were had that even parts of the party were not privy to. We did something that we don't normally do, and we had people mute out when the party was split so that people wouldn't hear things they weren't supposed to. And eventually, the group was able to flee with the inn on fire. The back rooms getting badly burned, and fled into the surrounding hills. We even had the priestess of Heem cast a dark spell of some sort on Zoe, but it was counterspelled by a dog in the grass.
No, Ralgar in the grass.
A wolf in the grass.
A wolf in the grass. That was it. Yeah. So, also, I started the recap halfway through the session. There was totally other stuff that happened. We started off at Garmar's wall, and the party had just encountered a vicious fire demon of some sort, and
get to the looting.
They decided to nope out. They fled. Dog was able to use some of his druidic magic to briefly influence the creature's emotions and cause it to become fearful. And the party, during that time that it bought them, were able to successfully seal up the cave, turn around, and GTFO without having to fight the monster. And on returning to their camp, plundered the belongings of their archaeologist companion, who had managed to piss them off quite badly, and made off with most of her stuff, leaving her pretty much without food and water.
We left her a day's
worth of rations.
They stole her notes, they stole her food, they stole her money, and traveled north into the hills. So that all happened first. Then we had the episode at the Wolf's Belly Inn. When last we left the party, they are fleeing into the darkness, and the bad guys are shaking their fists angrily as they disappear off into the dark. So, we've passed the Wolf's Belly Inn, not without incident, and are ready to continue our journey north. If you are catching up, or aren't caught up, the party is headed north in the hopes of parleying with the elves. They're carrying the heartstone of their fallen friend. And, yeah, heroes is a questionable label. I agree. Hi, Elric. They are hoping to parley with the elves to explore the possibility of what it would take to bring Velas back. So, without further ado, we're in the wilderness. This is one of those classic I couldn't really prep a lot sessions because I don't know where they're going to go or what path they're going to take. We're going to leave it up to the dice gods and let Forbidden Lands be Forbidden Lands and see where we end up. And it will surprise me as much as it surprises all of you. And I have rambled enough. So, it is night. It is still raining. You are in the same hex as the Wolf's Belly Inn, about a kilometer or two out of its range, and have finally convinced yourselves that you are not being actively pursued, and are able to regroup and have a conversation with the rain just cascading down over all of you. I don't think you've had a chance to debrief or discuss anything that just went down, but the party is regathered in the this isn't a hills hex, but there's rolling hills to the north of the Wolf's Belly Inn, small ones, mostly clear terrain, little clusters of trees here and there. You find some semi-concealed place to pause and have a conversation. And big it away, toys.
I just immediately turned to Zoe, and I'm like, yo, what was that? Why did they want to talk to you? What did they talk to you about? Who was in there with you?
What? You know what? You're asking a lot from me. Why couldn't you just, like, pass through like normal?
And then I turned to Grunrock and Dog. I go, guys, she's hiding something. Those people. Wait, no. I saw her eyes. And they were crazy. You need to show these guys your eyes. Because when she showed those guys her eyes, they said to her, oh, you're one of those people. Which means she's not the only one with these fancy goggle things on her face. There's a whole people like her. Who are you, Zoe?
I am Zoe. I would like to know a little bit why such a high-ranking Rust brother made you so nervous. Why you were so convinced we were going to die if he saw you. And what you mean by, like, you look younger now than he used to. I feel like I'm not the only one hiding things.
First things first. You've got to answer to this group, because these guys know me. But we want to know about you. And if we like your answers, then I'll tell you a bit more about myself.
That's some world-class bullshit.
What do you think, guys?
I'm just glad I'm not the only new guy here anymore.
Are you affiliated with the Rust Brothers?
Grunrock, we've had this conversation like a million times.
I'm not.
I like how he thought you were talking to him.
I'm like, really?
Everybody's got a squeaky clean past here. What are you talking about?
Are you affiliated with Zygofer Zertor?
No.
Are
I'm
you
not.
the only person that has fancy goggles like that?
No, I bought them from some dwarves.
Why do your eyes look like that?
Why do my eyes look like what?
Oh, like crazy and beautiful.
He saw them, right?
I saw them. You
We're
took 'em off
outside
when
at
we were
night,
on
and
the
I took
bridge.
my goggles off when we were at the bridge.
I'm going to say that you didn't see her eyes,
you know-
but that you saw everybody's reaction and heard the conversation. Because it was nighttime, she was leading the conversation standing on the bridge, and
They don't
the other
glow
lady
like
was
flashlights.
the other lady was holding a torch, or her bodyguard was. So she would have been lit from the front with torchlight while standing on the bridge at night. You heard the conversation, and you heard the lady's reaction and response, but I don't think you got a front-on look at her eyes yourself.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Then I say, those Rust brothers didn't want to talk with her until they saw her eyes. Something about her eyes got them interested in her. And I'm pointing at you. Even though I assume you're right next to me. I'm like, pointing right at
Damn, like right in my face.
And you ate a lich and got young. We all have things that go crazy. What I want to know is why you think you can trick us.
What are you talking about? I'm not trying to trick anyone here.
Damn it, Marigold! Take the goggles off!
I'm not Marigold.
Prove it.
Prove it.
How?
Take the goggles off.
Take them off.
This is ludicrous. Taking my goggles off proves nothing.
Prove it.
Why? I haven't done anything wrong. I have saved someone who was falling to their death from a worse. I have fed you guys with a deer that I hunted. I helped get you across a bridge when you were convinced that you were going to die at the hands of a head Rust brother, and I'm being interrogated with zero explanation as to what's going on. I'm not the one who's done something wrong here. I'm not committing arson and hiding from the Rust brothers.
I was trying to get you out. And honestly, I don't even know why. I thought maybe you knew more about this than we do. I just want her back. I don't want you, and I don't want her to replace Velas. Damn it! And I'll just storm off.
Well, look what you did. And I follow Grunrock.
All right. I guess there's a decision to be made about. I mean, well, first of all, Dog and Zoe, you two are left alone to have a conversation, and Ralgar, you hunt down Grunrock. Let's, Dog and Zoe, you two turn and look at each other as these two go storming off into the rainstorm, disappearing into the dark. And you have an opportunity to exchange words if you want to.
What happened to Velas?
She drowned.
And you're trying to bring her back. Why does Grunrock hate Marigold so much? Has he done something to you all?
I don't even know who Marigold is. They've mentioned it a couple times. I haven't asked follow-up questions. There seems to be a general distrust around the name.
Fair. Smart people do distrust. You distrust me?
I know you only a little less than I do everyone else here, but they've had my back. They didn't kill me on sight, and they're certainly a lot better than the orc tribe that I was essentially enslaved to. You haven't stabbed me in the back in combat. You haven't killed me in my sleep. I get that my bar's kind of low, but I also understand that Grunrock and Velas have been traveling together for a lot longer than I have, and even Ralgar joined in pretty early on in their adventures. So the next day you show up and we end up grouping together. I can kind of see why they feel like you're replacing someone.
Cut away to Ralgar catching up to Grunrock.
Grunrock, wait. Slow down. I'm not trying to replace Velas.
Then what's with the application, huh? What's with all the questions?
Well, if anyone's gonna travel with us, I have to make sure they're not gonna stab us in the back while we sleep. We tend to get ourselves into some pretty crappy situations, and I want to know what everyone can bring to the table. That's all.
You're right. You're right. It's just since I've taken this fucking knife, I can't. I just can't stay calm. I don't know how Velas dealt with this all the time.
Well, she was, and not that you're not, but she was really strong.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
And she'd been around this stuff a lot more than we have. But Grunrock, I can't lose you too. And if this dagger is gonna take away your mind and take away who you are, then you gotta get rid of it.
I just gotta hold it until she's back. I just gotta keep myself together until she's back. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you, and I probably shouldn't have yelled at Zoe either. But you're right, she's hiding something.
It might not be a bad thing she's hiding, but why won't she open up to us?
I mean, it's not exactly like we've been forthright either.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
We
honestly,
got
I don't
her
feel like
outnumbered
most people.
3-1.
Yeah. So, we tell her a bit about us first. We extend the what's that? The branch from that tree.
It's an orange tree, and let's
Yeah,
go talk to her.
Okay. Come on.
Maybe I won't scream this time. I can't promise anything.
Give her the old orange twig. Everybody'll get along.
We
All
head
right.
back to the
Dog and Zoe,
enclosed area.
rain's cascading down around you. Your two friends come slinking back out of the darkness, back towards you and the horses, seeming somewhat calmer than when they left.
I'm sorry. I yelled at you.
I accept your apology.
And I'm sorry that we ganged up on you. It's not fair that we all know each other and you don't know us, and we're demanding everything of you without offering anything in return.
That does sum up this situation pretty well. Yeah, thank you.
So, I'll tell you something about me. I've had a bad experience with the Rust brothers. I lost my entire pack when I was younger. We'll talk more about that another day. And I didn't know where to go or who to trust. And when I stumbled upon the Rust brothers, I thought, oh, here's a new pack. They can take care of me, and I can take care of them, and we can be strong together. But they don't take care of outsiders the way they take care of their own, and they kept me locked up, and I could only earn my freedom by using my nose, which is very good at things. I did some bad things for them to protect myself. And then they taught me some things because they thought I could be more useful, and I used those things to escape them and swore I would never go back. Sorry. So I don't really like the Rust brothers, and I stay away from them whenever I can.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. They're pretty shitty.
Oh yeah. But they showed a lot of interest in you, and I have been around the Rust brothers. They only show interest in people if they can use them, and they only use people that are useful in ways that most people aren't. So why did they think you were so useful?
I have a very unlucky pair of eyes.
One ear up, one ear half cocked.
When people see them, they get jumpy, and they start throwing around a name of a sperm donor.
What? I turned to Grunrock.
He's your
That is a
dad.
term I am completely unfamiliar with as a wolfkin.
He's your father. Like that girl in Amber's Peak.
I don't have any clue how many siblings I'm supposed to have. Don't know anything about Eric Hall. Never met the pastor. He gave me these.
She has deep golden-colored yellowish eyes with like a faint inner glow, even in the dark of the rainstorm. They sort of glint a little bit, just two yellow dots in the darkness.
On reflex, I take like a half jump back and grab my sword. I don't pull it out, but it's very much like Golden Eyes is bad.
I put my hand on your arm, keeping your sword in its sheath.
That's why I keep these.
And you're really not him.
I just told you I've never met him. I have heard about him, obviously, because of people like the Raven sisters and the Rust brothers and pretty much anyone before I got these goggles. I cover up my eyes, and I get to be like everybody else.
So, they stopped you because they want him.
Yeah, that seemed to be the gist of it.
Well, we're telling each other the truth. Did he send you looking for us? Are you after Velas?
Are you not listening to me?
You gotta know, I've dealt with him more than my fair share, and he's nothing if not tricky.
Well, then it sounds to me like you've spent more time with him than I have.
I'm a little lost. Am I supposed to be avoiding people with golden eyes? I can't say that I've met anyone with golden eyes, except for Zoe here, and completely in the dark here.
Avoiding is a strong word. Typically, we're just lucky to get away from the interactions with Marigal in one piece. Not that he's ever directly tried to harm us, but he always gets something out of it. He's a trickster, a shapeshifter, a demon, I don't quite know.
He doesn't plan in days. He doesn't plan in weeks. I don't think he even plans in years.
Fact is, it seems like we might have some kind of common enemy. Well, I don't know. If you're trying to avoid him, we might not be the most fortunate group of traveling companions. He's sort of obsessed with our friend. And we will get her back.
So when I was asking questions about your dead friend, I can see where that would have been.
We have to assume, at this point, that anyone that isn't us is out to get us or out to get her.
That's a pretty lonely way to live.
I know one person who would probably be happy to see us. And it would give us a place to kind of rally. If we
One more. What if he's not happy? If he doesn't want to see us, it'll be the end.
He won't turn us in. Honestly, I think he'd run away from them on principle. Considering he doesn't even know he's a dwarf.
Well, I mean, my only other plan is to sneak into Mistwall and throw her heartstone into the still mist.
I say we go to the Hollows. Let's try and connect with Yawim. Maybe he can put us up somewhere while we plan. If not, then we make our way into the forest.
Can we get some beer?
That's why I said Yahweh.
Okay.
For the record, I'm not sure going to the Hollows is the best plan. Rathar, if you'll recall, that is where I told them you were going.
Yeah, but they didn't know who I was. You made them think I was. You didn't tell them my name, did you?
No, of course I didn't, but they are not stupid. I'm sure when they saw you guys keeping me from getting zapped with a spell, they put two and two together that we were a group of.
Then why'd they let us go? Well, at the very least, we have a head start.
We have a head start, but I don't think staying in the Hollows is a great idea.
You're on horseback and at a head start out into the rain, and it's dark. You don't know if they're going to track you or follow you or not. You just know that when you were riding off into the darkness, they were standing still, and that's all you know.
I would say we should probably go deeper into the woods. The Hollows being on a river and kind of a decent hub for travel and trade. There's probably loads of Rest Brothers that go in and out.
You've seen them there. Every time you've been there, there's been at least one Rust Brother there.
My only other thought is to head into, well, basically back towards Aylesbury. Not to Aylesbury. We definitely won't be welcome there. But we've seen a lot of Ents there. Maybe we can find an Ent that tells us more.
You've seen Ints in Aylesbury?
Well, we saw an Ent in the forest, and then we saw where an Ent had passed through near Aylesbury.
You guys saw a straight up like procession of like Ents and
The funeral procession of Ents carrying somebody was north of there, up in the middle of the Dankwood, close to Aylesbury. Yeah, very close to Aylesbury.
The Ent massacre.
Yeah, very close to Aylesbury. You saw the trail of an Ent that had just like ripped some people apart and stomped off into the woods, which is very un-Ent like. So you've encountered evidence of Ents twice. Once you saw them with your own eyes when they were doing a funeral procession and marching north. The other time was right next to Aylesbury, where there was a massacre site, and there was, it's not hard to tell an Ent's footprints. A huge tree monster to rip some people to shreds and then stomped off into the forest, and you saw the remains of it. And that was right next to Aylesbury.
I'm pretty sure the people in Aylesbury are awfully old. Surely someone would know how to bring back an elf eye. They've got to have, like, learned people there.
Well, they don't really have many people there anymore.
What are you talking about? I was there, like, 4 months ago.
Well, should we tell her?
Tell her what?
How many buildings have you all burned down?
We didn't burn that one down, it blew up. And that's where he got young.
Tell me on the way. Aylesbury seems the safest place for us right now.
Let's head north then. Maybe we can circle back.
All right, are we heading due north or are we heading northwest? Which hex are you going to travel into? Note that you are traveling in darkness, so you're going to be tired tomorrow if you don't stop and rest during the day.
We'll have to rest. We should get out of this hex, though.
Yeah,
So-
travel one hex, and then it'll be morning, and you'll be tired, and then you'll be forced to stop and rest, or just
Well,
travel with some penalties.
if they think we're going to the Hollows and we want to avoid that, at least for like the next day, that trail, then we should go northwest.
Okay,
Go the opposite.
northwest you go. All right.
Yeah.
Double back and go along the riverbank, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Let's head northwest under cover of darkness. Who is leading the way? And you're going to have to modify your roll.
You're gonna have to modify your roll.
Oh, sick.
Bastard. It's going to be at a -2 because of the pouring rain and darkness. So it's a hard lead the way roll. I believe there's someone in your party that could try to lead the way in the dark by applying a pride, if they want to. But you all let me know.
It'll only be a -1 for me because I get +1 from the Pathfinder rank 1 skill, so that still gives me 7 dice.
Grunrock, you can. Do you still have that pride?
See.
Okay. You could lead the way, and I would let you apply your pride to it if you choose to, since you're in a dire circumstance and forced to flee in darkness and nobody else can see quite as well as you. So I would let you apply your pride to it if you want to, but you probably have a lower base chance than your normal Pathfinder dog. So it's up to you who you want to have do it. Just laying out options. Party can decide.
3 on survival. Maybe I keep watch while he leads the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll do it that way.
All right. We venture into a new hex. Go ahead and make that hard lead the way roll.
Nope.
Wow. Very rough. Let's see. Give me a moment.
It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
It seems like it.
One of those nights. Hey, Elric, while Josh is looking into this, can you guys see the live cast chat spoiler warning on the Discord?
That channel under
Weren't
the
sure.
general section.
We were like, who can we ask? I was like, oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and post the Discord. I do this whenever we bring it up. Post the Discord in the chat.
All right, this is a pretty fitting mishap. There's a thick fog, which makes sense given the storm. The visibility is awful. It is dark, it is pouring rain, and there's thick fog everywhere. You are traveling aimlessly. It's very difficult to even tell what direction you're going. You're pretty sure that you're going northwest. The effects of this are going to be as follows. Number 1, you are traveling into a plains hex, which should facilitate you going multiple hexes in a single quarter day, but that is going to be reduced. You are only going to get into this hex, and it is going to take the entire night to get into this hex because your travel rate is reduced by the fog. Furthermore, the gloom and the aimless trudging and the tedium of traveling all night in the fog is going to do a point of empathy damage to everyone in the party.
Weak.
Does that break anyone?
In game, no.
Question.
Uh-huh.
The dagger permanently decreases my empathy, if I remember correctly.
Every time you downs... Oh.
Yep, it drops your empathy down 1 from what its normal start is. And then every time you kill something, it does an additional point of damage.
Just having it on you lowers your empathy by 1?
Yes.
Oh, I had forgotten that. Yeah, I guess your empathy is down 1 from normal.
In that case, I break, because I only have 1 empathy to be damaged.
Okay, so here's what's happening. You're traveling through the dark. You're uncertain if you're pursued. You're uncertain if you're going in the right direction. This is going on for hours. There's thick fog. You can't tell which way you're going. It's repetitive. You're afraid that you might be going in circles. Your eyes are darting in every direction. You are paranoid that somebody's going to show up and try to kill you. The dagger is faintly burning on the back of your hand the angrier you get. And finally, something happens. Your horse starts, or you trip a little bit over a ditch, or a tree branch snaps, something spooks you, something trips you off. Maybe there's a wolf howl in the distance. Whatever it is, you lose your shit, act a bit rashly, everybody turns to you like, what the hell are you doing? And you just are like, fuck it, I've had enough of this. Empathy break means you are going to split from the party. You are going to march off into the darkness, having an emotional episode of some kind. This might be related to any of the many bad things that have happened to you. Whatever the case, you have an emotional break at some point during the night, break off from the party, and you can describe the manner in which that occurs and what you do.
I like the wolf howl thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the wolf howl, and I'll just like give the mule its head and charge past Dog off into the fog, and I'm just barreling through the plains,
Okay.
trying to get to tree cover. I'm just
'Kay.
moving. And I have
Something
no idea where I'm going.
Something spooks Grunrock. He kicks his horse and goes, no, 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 and sort of runs off into the fog, and then you quickly lose track of each other in the fog and are unable to locate him. You've all made it into the next hex, but you've lost track of Grunrock. He seemed to be very on edge, and then something tipped him off, and so he is split off from the party. You're going to have to find each other when the storm clears and it's morning time. And for the standard encounter roll that I make for you entering a new hex, I am going to make separate ones for you and the rest of the party, and that is the consequence of your empathy break. Okay.
I accept.
Are you gonna make us? Are you gonna make us all stop listening during his, so that we don't know what's happening to
I'll
him?
roll the dice and see if it even matters. Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. Give me a sec. One of the two halves of the party has an encounter and the other does not.
I volunteer as tribute.
If only you could. All right, I'm going to need a minute.
While our wonderful Josh takes a minute, I hope that you are all enjoying the sounds of rain provided to us by Sirenscape. Sirenscape, your one-stop shop for all of your sound needs.
Those people owe you money at this point. This is a plains hex, by the way. I'll update the map when I get an opportunity.
You know, Trader Joe's should sponsor us. We could have all kind of like snackies and stuff. Each one of us has a different snack. Each one of us has a different beverage. I'll go talk to him tomorrow.
Just like your local Trader Goods.
Freaking love plantain chips.
I think I've only been in Trader Joe's like one time.
It's a dang shame.
I don't know that I've ever been in Trader Joe's before.
This is a bit of text, so I actually need a moment.
We'll keep talking about Trader Goods.
It's gonna be a Grunrock encounter, so why don't you three role play having lost him for a minute?
Oh,
So, does he often run off like that on his own?
no, I
No,
wouldn't
you
say
save a loss.
often. I never
Lost
worry about
to run off on her own?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's very sensitive.
Well, you know what I like to do when I start feeling frustrated and upset and overwhelmed? Just happy thoughts, you know? Get that negative stuff all out of you. This rain, pretty crummy. Nearly dying, pretty crummy. But you know what's not? Sunset in a field of flowers.
All right.
Eyes over a lake.
I think I'll cut to Grunrock. Do you guys want to meet, or Do you guys want to mute out for a minute?
Oh my god!
I just turn to Dog and I go, I have never met anybody like this person before.
Yeah, that's amazing. She was traveling alone.
Guys.
All right, mute out. I'll try to have it take less than 2 minutes, and I'll thumbs up you. Me and Hank will when it's time to tune back. Okay.
Godspeed.
All right. Godspeed. All right. Grunralk.
Yeah.
It is late. It is dark. You have heard the howl of a wolf. You have turned and fled across the open plains. The visibility is horrible. And you are just thundering across the plains. Your horse is unable to see. You could ride into a ravine at any moment and not even see it coming. You are trying to find your way back to your friends, but are completely disoriented and have lost track of where you are and what's going on, and you are empathy broken for the remainder of the scene, so you will automatically fail any test requiring an empathy roll. Now, in the midst of this happening, you are guiding your horse around in circles, and you hear a scream from out in the fog. It came from a direction. A few moments later, a man, young human man, maybe in his early 20s, just runs out in front of you. It startles your horse, which kicks you back. You have to hold on for dear life to not get thrown off. And the man looks up at you. His eyes are full of terror. He is panicked. He is wearing blood-stained clothes, and for a moment your eyes meet. He gives you a pleading look, and then turns and runs off into the fog in a direction. One of the directions. The direction that he runs in. What do you do?
A pleading look? Like he looks at me like, help me kind of look?
Kind of.
God, I'm 50-50 on it. I don't have a coin to toss. I'll follow him.
You follow him?
Yeah.
You turn and start riding after him, and he goes, no, no, no! He's running and dodging and trying to shake you off, and seems paranoid and terrified and is running around in the dark. You're going to need to make an animal handling roll to be able to follow the guy. Actually, empathy broken? Okay, yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah, you'll have to make an animal handling roll for this guy to not outmaneuver you and lose you in the fog.
Are there any minuses on that?
Nah.
Zero, apparently.
I didn't see any dice roll.
It's an empathy roll, so it's a fail.
It is? I see. All right. You are too impatient and impulsive. You're yanking at the reins of your horse, and it's just pissing off your horse. You don't have the composure to center yourself and get the horse focused on chasing this guy. A few moments later, out of the fog, come a band of savage orcs emerging from the fog. They are big, imposing. They have somewhat eerily human-like features, and you identify them as female orcs because of the small tusks on their lower jaws. There's a trio of them, armed with bows and hunting spears. Their amber eyes are faintly visible in the dark, and they are spinning their heads around, looking in every direction. One of the trio who appears to be a leader, your horse is freaking out. One of the trio who appears to be a leader has 9 foxtails strapped onto her back, dangling down, and just like a strand of what appear to be pearls wrapped around her neck. She stands up and in a deep but surprisingly articulate voice says, "Stranger, we seek the human hair. Have you seen it dancing along this way?" Their eyes are all darting along, and one of the ones in the back is looking at the ground for footprints. You can make a lore roll.
I'm gonna do that.
What'd you get? 0 success? All right.
0 success.
Scratch. That's as much as you see and know.
Human hair. All the humans have hair.
You idiot, goblin. Our prey.
Oh, like a rabbit. Yeah, he went that way.
And I'm gonna point back the way they came from.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe you should open your eyes and actually look for your prey. It's kind of foggy.
Because of your empathy being nil, you're not going to be able to succeed on a manipulate roll. You're too pissy and impatient, and they can tell that you're being uncooperative, and so they're immediately going to be pissed off about it. The effect of that will be that they will ignore you and run off into the fog in the direction that they were already going. They do not have the time or interest to sit here meddling with you. They give you a look like we'd kill you if we had the time, and they run off into the fog.
I'll just Hakaluki after him and then continue going in the direction that I'm thoroughly convinced my friends are in,
Okay.
which is probably in the same circle.
All right. We can thumbs up everybody back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Welcome back, everybody. All right.
Did I mute out?
Nah, you're good. Because the rest of the night is going to
you're
pass
dead.
uneventfully. Grunralk, you are seeking the party. Party, you are seeking Grunralk. You have all cleared your way into this new Plains Hex, and I am going to reveal it on the map, and then we will proceed to morning. Because you traveled through the night and did not sleep, you are going to be tired in the morning. There's the new hex. But you have made your way into this hex. You've not seen any pursuers from the Wolf's Belly Inn. The sun is rising. The storm is slowly clearing. And at some point in the faint morning mist, as the fog is starting to break, you spot Grunralk, and Grunralk, you spot the party somewhere out on this muddy plain.
How does Grunralk look? Does he look no worse for wear? Does he look... do I see any blood?
His eyes are bloodshot. He looks soaked, tired. He's slumped over the back of his horse, and he's got a snarling, pissed off expression on his face.
Kind of grumbling to myself too.
I ride up beside him, and I just say, Grunralk, it's okay.
Ah!
Okay. Hey. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me.
You were supposed to be that? Where have you been all night?
Trying to find you, friend. What happened to you?
You didn't hear the monster wolf in the fog? Why didn't any of you run? The Rust Brothers had to have sent a wolf after us. You didn't hear that? There it is again!
Sorry, that's my monster dog.
That's your wolf. It was
Great
perfect.
timing, by the way, impeccable.
Grunralk, we didn't hear anything. You just like went.
Oh, and you're telling me I imagine the 3 orcs hunting that man, too, right?
The what?
Maybe I did imagine that. I don't know if I've ever seen that many female orcs in the same place anyway. Usually they're really territorial. Y'all have a camp. I'm tired.
I'll go ahead and set up camp.
Time to make some sleep.
Morning time. Set up camp. All right. You can go ahead and do a make camp roll.
I'll keep watch.
I'm actually going to use the large tent that I've been carrying around to get +2 on this.
1 sec before you roll.
I'm not going to roll.
You are sleepy.
You're sleeping.
You cannot recover wits except through magic. You suffer a point of damage to your wits each day that passes, and as soon as you've slept for a quarter day, you're no longer sleepy and can recover wits normally. All right. Yeah. None of that's going to affect making camp. Go ahead and make camp. If you'd continued traveling at all from here, you would have to all lose a point of wits, but if you set up camp here, I will let you not deal with it. Nice. Successful make camp roll. Let me roll to see if there is any chance of an encounter. There is not. And you are able to set up camp uneventfully in the muddy rolling plains. The river continues alongside here. This is, you know this to be the close to the headwaters of the Elia River where they feed off of Lake Varda. Presumably heading off towards the sea to the east after flowing down this way.
Food rolls, right?
Yeah, go ahead and make your food rolls.
We're still not doing water since we're close to the river.
Right. Pouring rain in a river adjacent hex, you can not do water rolls.
Everything's coming up Grunrock today, isn't it?
Glenrock's really hungry.
Perfection. All right.
Does using a tent mean that we don't have to spend a whole quarter day setting up camp?
No, it still takes a quarter day. It just gives you +2 to the make camp roll.
Cool. Okay. In the morning, you set up camp. Does anybody want to take any other actions during the morning? And if you do, you will count as sleepy while doing them. And take a damage to wits. If you hang out, lend a hand with the setup of the camp, or otherwise rest in this area while waiting, then you will not have to lose the point of wits for being sleepy. Everybody just chilling?
Are we gonna have anyone keep watch, or are we all just gonna sleep and risk it?
Well, I will keep watch on one of the
Someone can keep watch without taking the sleepy penalty, since that's mostly sitting still waiting for camp to be done.
If you want to stay awake right now with Dog, then I will sleep at the same time as Grunrock, and I can be awake while you guys sleep.
Okay.
She's
I'm really
saying
confused right
she's
now.
saying in shifts. Like if me and her sleep now, you guys can sleep next.
Do we always do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
One person makes camp and
Right.
everyone else does? Okay.
Grunrock usually falls asleep on a rock and then keeps watch during the night.
Ah, okay. Wait, no. So Grunrock is asleep on a rock. And Zoe's asleep with him while I'm awake making camp. And
I'm
That makes
making
me-
camp. You're just
You're keeping an eye out.
okay.
All right. There's no encounter. You make camp. It is now midday. So you have camp made. You can all sleep during the day if somebody wants to stay awake and be on the watch.
I will stay awake during the day.
Or you can put nobody on the watch and all sleep, whatever. You're going to stay awake during the day? Okay.
I slept in the morning.
All right.
Yeah, I'll stay up with Zoe while they rest.
Dog and I are sleeping.
All right. There is no event during the day.
good.
Um,
We should just stay here for the evening.
I'm going to need an endurance roll from Dog, Zoe, and Grunrock. Everybody except Ralgar.
Okay, can I ask why?
In a minute.
Cool deal.
No.
Is this endurance roll cold related?
No.
Okay.
Though I do have a luxurious coat, thank you for noticing.
He's so fluffy.
I have a sleeping fur.
Let's see, 1, 2, 0. Zoe. You become violently ill. You are vomiting on the ground. Your stomach is twisted in knots. You are taking a point of damage to your strength and agility. And you are afraid maybe something about that deer meat didn't sit well.
Tasted fine to me.
Orc belly.
I'm taking damage to strength and what?
Agility.
1 each to strength and agility. And you are ill until further notice.
So that goes up to evening.
It's evening now, yeah.
Can I use my crafting skill to concoct poison or antidote? I have herbs that my dear friend Veloz stole from from a guy whose wall we'd blown up. And can I try to make her an antidote for whatever I feel that she's suffering from, food poisoning?
It says that if you're cared for by someone during your sickness, this person can roll your sickness rolls instead of you. The healer rolls for healing against the virulence of the disease instead of you rolling endurance against it. Healing potions can give a bonus to the roll. The Nature's Cure spell is also effective against diseases. So it would specifically be healing potions, the Nature's Cure spell, or you just having a better heal roll than her endurance roll. But your strength and agility damage will not be recovered as normal during rest. It only becomes recoverable when you successfully succeed on a roll against the disease, and that will be something you get an opportunity to attempt once per day.
Okay, I have a question,
Yes.
which it will be, I guess, for my roll tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
As a human, I have an adaptive talent.
Okay.
It says that humans are new to the Forbidden Lands and are seen as intruders by other kin, but no other kin can adapt to new situations and living conditions the way humans can. If you spend a willpower point when you are about to roll for a skill, you can roll for any skill of your choice to achieve the same result. You must be able to motivate how you're using the chosen skill. The GM has the final say, but should give you some leeway.
Okay. If you can justify how another skill would be able to substitute for your endurance roll to resist the food poisoning, then go ahead and say so.
Archery.
I shoot myself in the face.
Shoot myself in the face. No. Could I, use, my wits and, my, almost like an insight of, that deer, now, upon further reflection, did look a little weak. I've seen other deer that look similarly. I've been in lots of towns. Some of the medicines they've used, these are the things. If I eat this herb, this herb, this herb, I might be able to overcome this.
That sounds like a healing roll, not an insight roll to me, because you're using your knowledge of curative herbs and medical treatment based on your past experience of how to treat diseases to be able to roll that instead. I don't think it's insight, because insight is made for reading people mostly. And
It sounds like you're trying to use the power of hindsight to cure your stomach.
Exactly.
the power of I know better.
Exactly.
This can't happen to me.
Damn.
I can't find a healing potion on any of the trade charts.
Okay.
I call.
Shenanigans.
No, I'm looking on the trade goods and I see lethal poison antidotes, paralyzing poison antidotes, sleeping poison antidotes, hallucinogenic poison antidotes, but I don't see healing potion anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep you posted.
I want to heal her.
Yeah.
With my Poisoner skill.
Okay. If you succeed on a craft roll and consume a unit of herbs, I will let you put together a salve that will give you +2 gear dice to your roll to heal her. It will consume the herbs either way, whether you succeed or not.
Yeah.
But you can see her vomiting on a rock and be like, I need to try to brew something up. And you're going through your bag trying to find if anything could help.
All right. I'll make the salve. I'll use the herbs.
Okay. And yeah,
No, instead.
Elric had actually said healing potion in the description, even though there's no such thing listed in the books. It seems like an editing error or just a not fleshed out thing. So I'm going to house rule it that it's something that you can craft with herbs.
Yeah, because I can craft like antidotes and things to all those things that consumes, but then it's a crafting roll to see if I successfully make it. So you're giving me the roll, but then saying I'm making something that's going to give me +2 to my healing roll.
You're basically crafting a tool to help with your healing roll.
All right.
I'll take a look at antidote to see if it has a precedent for how this type of thing could work. But antidotes are always listed in association with poison, so
Yeah.
anyway, we'll play it like this for now.
I'll try to heal her then with my +2 salve of healing.
Okay, you successfully crafted it. You do that tomorrow.
I craft that first?
Yeah, you have to successfully craft it with a crafting roll.
Okay.
And then if that is successful, then it will work when you go to apply it tomorrow.
All right. I got 3 successes on that crafting roll.
Okay. Consume a unit of herbs. I'll let that... 3 successes is wild. I'll let that give you 3 extra dice on the healing roll tomorrow.
Yes.
Nice.
But you'll
Good
have to
job.
wait till tomorrow to do it. It will be... You can administer it to her now, but we'll make the die roll tomorrow to see what the effects are. So, Amy, tomorrow, when you make another roll to recover from the disease, you will get to make Adam's healing roll at a +3 instead of your own endurance roll, which presumably will be much better.
Adam, what's your healing roll?
Well, that'll give you 5 total dice instead of your 3.
Better. Until then, you still have a point of damage to your strength and agility, and you feel awful, twisting pain in your stomach, and will be periodically vomiting. Till tomorrow afternoon, when we get to find out if you're getting over it.
That's hot.
And I'm going to try and learn a skill,
Go ahead.
or a talent, I should say. Yeah.
Did it. What's the talent?
I'm actually taking fast footwork, so I can get 1 free dodge.
Nice.
Because I tried dodge. It makes sense because I tried
Yeah.
dodging before and got landed on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and then I couldn't get back up. So it's like, yep.
You've
that
been
makes sense.
replaying the fire demon encounter in your head and being like, I need to be
I-
paying better attention.
faster.
Yeah.
Fast footwork is legit.
It's just running
Yeah.
drills. All right.
That's Velas had that one.
Cool.
Vergello has it.
Does
I
he?
like to think that as I'm working on that, whatever I administered to Amy, I'm just seeing an orc, like, doing suicide drills. I'm like, this is the craziest day ever.
Either that, I imagine like it's just I have Grunrock like throwing rocks at me and I'm trying to dodge.
That's how Velas got it.
Yeah, I mean,
Skirnrog just
Make-
throwing shit at her.
it makes sense.
You might be sore and cramped from your sudden jumps out of the way, and so like stretching and like trying to get the pain to go away, and then like replaying everything in your head, and whatever the
Why do
case.
you have a 5 wits?
Why?
How?
I don't know. I was a druid and I was like, wits make sense.
Crazy.
I'm young. I have lots of potential.
Lots of potential. That's awesome.
I also have 3 empathy and 3 agility.
Are there any other actions to be taken in the afternoon, or do we advance to evening time?
So
think
like,
You have.
We're at night, aren't we?
Was that evening?
Yeah, that was evening.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
because
now we're
we
night.
Yeah.
made camp in the morning,
Okay.
slept during the day.
All right. So you want to set up camp now?
Well, we're at,
or
we're still
sorry.
at the same campsite.
I mean, yeah, you already have
Go back
set
to
up
bed.
camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I guess then you have the evening for you to do what you want, since people can sleep during the night. So if anybody wants to take another action in the evening, you can.
That was the evening, though.
Yeah.
We slept
Sorry.
during the day.
Yeah.
Okay. It is nighttime. It is dark.
Yeah.
Actions requiring sight will take a -2 penalty. If you would like to sleep or rest now, so that you will not be tired the following day and back on your normal schedule, you can. If there are any
Yeah,
actions
I'll
you
do
would
that.
like to stay up and do, go ahead. Everybody
I'm
sleeping?
And I just want to say for the record that I think this is just so confusing because you haven't brought up our like day action overlay for us.
Yeah.
Grunrock rested in the evening, and he is now keeping watch, and the rest of us are going to sleep. Zoe slept in the evening and is going to sleep in the night.
Do you do all your taxes in your head and then just enter the final number?
Yeah. I just sent a post-it note to the government that says, I don't know you jack shit. And I've yet to get a complaint.
Please.
All right. So
A husband bringing his wife a drink. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's really nice.
No.
He said, I'm going downstairs to get a drink. What do you want? I said, hit me, baby.
all right. Nighttime.
Enough of that.
I'm just getting us back on task, students. Even though I'm the one holding us up.
Yes, it wasn't me.
Nighttime. Ralgar's on sleep.
On watch.
On sleep.
on
Everyone
sleep.
put yourself where you are.
Who's on watch?
Grunrock,
Grunrock.
our night boy.
Are we evening or night? We're night.
Night.
Okay, yeah. I'm watching.
Okay. All right. Looks like something's happening. Give me a minute.
Heck yeah. Lynn Part 2.
If you see me yawning, I'm just role playing. It's not that I'm jet lagged.
Mm-hmm.
Such good roleplay.
You look a little, like, heartbroken, like you're desperately missing someone as well. I didn't realize Dog was...
Yeah. Dog longs for the days where he got to hang out with his best friends. Other dogs.
Blossom Grunt. Oh.
All right,
Listen,
one
we
sec.
miss you too, buddy. Someone across the pond might miss you a little more, I guess.
How long has Grunrock been, or not Grunrock, how long has Dog been in the party? Like, how many days or weeks?
Yeah, Josh.
What's the
No,
question?
I'm not asking Josh. Josh is, like, busy.
Well, let's see. Okay, so
I'd say a few weeks at least.
if Zoe was in Aylesbury 4 months ago and saw people, then less than 4 months.
Well, yeah, of course.
Before
less
the
than 4
great
months.
extinctioning.
Dog joined up whenever we traveled south to the witches.
Zoe,
So how long has... Yes.
roll a d6. Don't get a 1 on it.
Don't say that.
Don't get a 1.
I didn't get a 1.
I didn't see any roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see
It
anything.
said unrecognized command.
That didn't pop up for me.
My
All
favorite
right.
role.
Cool. There is an encounter that occurs. You are unaware of it at this time. The night will pass uneventfully, and
I'm not the one
What?
on watch.
I know. And the sun rises in the morning to a new day.
What?
You don't get to know.
What
This is DM
the
torture.
Why?
Neat.
What did I do?
Everything. and
What
nothing.
didn't you do?
All right.
Yeah, what didn't you do?
The sun rises. Nothing appears to have happened.
Food rolls.
I'm gonna kill you!
Oh, if you're concerned about that deer meat, Dog, Zoe, and Grunrock, you each have to ditch a unit of food before rolling if you would like to avert having to make any further rolls against food poisoning.
Oh, okay.
I cooked it to 165.
Yeah, that doesn't fix the chaos plague.
Clearly not.
Yeah, it doesn't. It might kill the bacteria, but it doesn't get rid of their poop.
You have to cast that meat into the fires of Mount
Hey.
Doom to have it not give you food poisoning.
Grunrock, didn't you lose a food die? Last one?
Yeah, on the last roll I did.
So did he eat all of the deer meat then? Because he already lost the food die.
Sure. He doesn't need to drop one now. That's fine. Unless his dice says so.
I got you, Hank.
Zoe and Dog, did you drop food the last time you rolled a food roll? No? Dog, you did not?
I just dropped one now. I
Yeah,
thought we had to
but
do that
last
food
food roll yesterday, did you
No,
drop a
Hank
food
was the only
for
one
that
who
one?
lost one.
Bill,
What?
yesterday, when you rolled for your food roll, did it go down or not?
No, it did not.
Okay. Today, you have to drop 2 units because you had 2 units of the deer meat.
Okay. Do I need to roll again?
Drop 2 units and then do the food roll for the day. You can disregard whatever you rolled just now.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Sorry, I was confused.
It's fine. I made it confusing. I was retconning as I tried to figure out how it should have worked.
I'm so weak at strength and agility.
Yeah. In the afternoon today, you will make a roll to see if you have fought off the disease or not. And if you're successful, you will stop losing it and then heal the next time you rest.
But you'll get 5 dice.
Mm-hmm. But yes, until further notice, you're still damaged on both and unable to recover it. You wake up with a headache and a stomach ache, and all through the night you were periodically vomiting.
Josh, is this endurance roll pushable?
The endurance roll against the disease?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I was like, if it is, I'm about to just start farming willpower by eating deer meat.
That's why it's not.
Anytime you think farming willpower,
The answer
Hey,
is no, you
look,
can't do it.
I'm just saying, if he slips up and says yes, I'm gonna do it.
Bill's gonna find a way.
He games the system. He systems the
the
game.
only person
Willpower.
that can farm willpower is me. Speaking of which,
You want to kill some
Wanna give me
stuff?
some willpower?
You want to make a giant circle of death? Mow
you
the
wait-
lawn out here? In the...
You should wait till there's an important NPC nearby.
yeah, fair enough.
All right. So, let me kick us back over to the map, and then we get to proceed.
Daytime.
Daytime. It is daytime again, and you can travel.
It should be morning.
It's morning. Sorry. It's morning, and you can travel either north or northwest if you're headed for Aylesbury. Which shall it be?
North.
Yeah, north.
Okay. Traveling due north. Let's get a lead the way roll. You can make it to Aylesbury during daytime if you don't have any traveling
If you
mishaps here.
succeed.
Yeah.
Got those horses.
Because you've got horses, this is open terrain. If nothing actively
Nope.
screws up your travel.
Nope.
Okay. Well,
It's just not the day for Pathfinder rolls. I don't know what it is.
it's never the day for Pathfinder rolls. It's been the curse of this whole campaign. I feel like if you added up every Pathfinder roll this party's ever made in 40 sessions, they probably average out to like less than half of the standard rate of successes. All right.
Even with high numbers, it's insane.
All right.
Oh
Let's
wait,
see.
I need to roll one more d6 because I get +1.
Go ahead.
Nope, didn't work.
Okay.
Damn it, dog.
I'm upset. I had to throw away all that deer meat.
All right, checking something.
Wait, so
I
all
wanted
you do is have 1d6 somewhere in your string and it'll parse it?
No, I think you have to type /R, right?
Yeah, /R 1d6 or
/R space, and then...
Then how did you roll in 1d6, please God help? How did that roll a dice?
I had /R
Oh,
1d6, and then I put please God help after that.
yeah, you can put the comment after the dice string, and it adds it. All right. All right. This will be...
That's the worst gift I can find.
This is an odd one, Bill. Here you go. While navigating around some difficult terrain in front of the party, you are trying to find the safest path through some like kind of rocky, uneven terrain, and your horse trips and throws you off. You manage to land in such a way that you don't suffer like structural injury, but some piece of your gear jabs you in the eye when you hit the ground, and you suffer the gouged eye condition until further notice. Gouged eye could take approximately a week on average to recover from, and during that time period, you will take a -2 to all marksmanship and scouting rolls.
Oh, cool! My top 2 skills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot on me, so it's either going to be the large tent, the sleeping fur, animal teeth, or a knife, dagger, or a large wooden club.
You were thrown from the horse and suffered a random blunt force injury, and we gouged eyed. So,
Right, so gouged, eye,
yeah.
not lethal.
You
How
can
long is the
roll.
healing time?
Do you want to roll the duration, or should I?
Ooh, I want to roll it. Let's see if we can get a high one.
2d6 days.
Watch him roll a 12 now.
That is 8 days. So you're going to have to tally it up. That will be a nagging injury for quite a while.
Can I make an antidote for that? About
I believe there are ways in the... I remember Elric sharing this
Wait,
with us in the past.
I have that human thing. Can I insight and realize that if I didn't fall off my horse, I wouldn't have a gouged eye?
Only if you succeed on a melee roll against the ground.
he can't dodge falling off the horse.
No. Okay. So, but anyway, what I was saying, there is...
Does he
I
get
can't-
willpower for that?
I can't recall. No, I can't recall it off the top of my head, but there is something in the rules for reducing the recovery time on injuries, so you can look into that between things.
When he falls, does he find a treasure worth a gold or more?
You hit the ground so hard that your DM resigns and the campaign is over. I'm just gonna go home.
Is the item that gouged my eye a monster defeated in combat?
You can look at your inventory and tell me what gouged you in the eye. And if the answer's rotten horse meat, you have to make another endurance roll.
Where is all this rotten horse meat coming from?
It's everywhere. It's multiplied. You left it in your bag too long, and now it's taken over.
If only the
Oh
hunger
yeah,
was left,
you can half the recovery time with a successful healing.
Find the
roll. Yeah,
pointiest
so
object that you're likely to be carrying on your person.
I have a dagger.
Well, the hilt of the dagger jabbed you in the eye when you fell. All right. Anyway,
Be lucky it's only 8 days to heal. Jesus.
other than that, everything's going great. That doesn't affect your travel time in any way. So you suffer the gouged eye condition. Whoops. Ignore that. You suffer the gouged eye condition. I'm just looking for the reveal thing. They keep changing the menus, and now I've lost it.
Josh launches a turn order, says, just ignore this.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
Is the dagger attacking us?
The turn order had Fergello in it, so clearly
Uh-huh.
it's a very old turn order.
All right.
Unless we're fighting Fergello.
So it is evening, correct? Am I correct?
No, it's morning.
You make your way north, and you can see it's been quite a while for two of you. I'm thinking, who's been into the Dankwood? Everybody's been into the Dankwood except possibly Zoe. Yeah, you see the Dankwood looming before you. Heavy, thick tree cover. It's like a wall. It's like a wall at the edge of the forest, and beyond it is dark, tangled, dense, looming, imposing forest that gives you a faint ick feeling. It is sort of permanently sheltered from much sunlight, gloomy, dark, heavy undergrowth, vines all over everything, notoriously swarming with like beetles and crawly, creepy insects of all sorts, centipedes, millipedes, and it is so thick and dense that even the sounds of birds and things like that are often somewhat drowned out and absorbed. It is like traveling through just a thick gloom. But to some of you, this almost feels like home at this point. I think, yeah, Grunralk has spent a fair amount of time here, but this isn't his native terrain. For Ralgar, this is coming home.
Nice.
All right.
It smells so good.
And you head in the direction of Aylesbury?
Yep. This'll be fun.
I'm going to respond to a private message real
Returning to
quick.
the scene of the crime.
Okay. Why don't you all exchange some words for a moment while setting foot into Dankwood, and I'm going to respond to a private message from the party.
So I'm really hoping that someone in Aylesbury is like maybe like a doctor. It's been a while since I've been there, but man, this sonic bug feels like it might literally kill me.
I have a strong feeling that my salve is going to do better for you than the doctors would.
There's some kind of magic man there, but the last sick person we brought to him, he just wanted to turn her into a statue.
Yeah, medicine isn't really Oros's thing. Be good to check up on him, though.
I wonder if he's even still alive.
Oh, he is. I know.
Like, can you smell the magic on him? Is your nose that crazy now?
I mean, I have my ways.
Okay. You head for Aylesbury?
We're heading for Aylesbury.
All right.
Maybe we should just feed her some of these centipedes. They're really high in protein.
Let me try one.
All right. As you make your way towards the edge of the forest, you actually see something of note. There is up ahead, sort of standing out from the border of the forest before you enter, there is a tree that looks like it's standing alone, a short distance separated from the rest of the forest. A very tangled, very gnarled looking freestanding tree, and it has like a low circle of stones laid out around it, like a ring of kind of like bowling ball sized old worn stones, encircling it at a distance of about 10 or 15 feet all the way around. And the tree has many ropes dangling from it in various places. All of them have bones hanging from them, except for one. There's one rope that has on it a mangled body. Cut, sliced, bloody, looks fresh, recent, badly disfigured, very gross. And around its neck is hanging a necklace of 9 foxtails, and this mangled body looks familiar to one of you.
Oh. She caught him.
Okay, so before you say anything, this is not what we were alluding to.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for that. That was the she-orc. For what it's worth, I tried to tell her he ran in the other direction.
What?
That night I was on my own. I ran across 3 orcs. One of them was wearing that foxtail thing, and she was chasing that guy.
Why? Did she tell you? Did you talk to her?
She called him a hare. Said that he was their prey. I kind of think it's like, you get a head start and we'll come kill you sort of thing.
Is this something orcs do all the time?
And I kind of looked at Dog like,
I don't know. I racked my brain on it and I couldn't figure anything out. If 9 foxtails and female orcs hunting humans means anything to any of you.
can I roll
This-
lore on 9 foxtails?
I was gonna say, does this tradition sound familiar to me at all?
Can we all roll lore?
Yeah, you can all roll lore. Dog, 2 extra dice.
I know about as much as everyone else.
Did better than me.
1
2, 1, and 1.
success. Okay, Ralgar is going to know the most. Some of you will know about half of this. 1 sec.
I prepare to speak through Josh's mouth.
Gross.
Good deal. I love it.
Josh, you should do your best Adam impression as you.
Okay, so.
Yay.
Give me 1 sec.
I'm so excited.
How does anybody stay around to watch this craziness?
Okay, so I have heard that the orcs of the Roka clan, they sometimes do this sacrificial ritual where they will just find somebody, anybody, it could be any old body, and they're going to pick them up and they're going to find them in the night, and they decide that person needs to be hunted down, and they are going to chase them all through the night and make like a sport game of it, and when they catch them, they will chop them up into little pieces and hang them from their sacrificial tree. It is gruesome and is bloody, and this guy probably did not deserve it at all. He was probably a really nice guy.
Why is Ralgar just so fun to be?
You don't need to show up next time. I'll just be you. It's fine.
Perfect. Are you out of breath now? Because I frequently am.
Oh, yes. I am very out of breath because breathing is sort of built into my speech pattern, but it goes the wrong direction because I breathe out instead of in the whole time that I am talking. So anyway,
Yep, now you all know that.
Was it a specific orc tribe?
Roka orcs, and
Roka
this
orcs.
would have been carried out by the Viraga, who are the female elders that sort of run the tribe.
I'm gonna go get the guy down.
Okay. It's a gruesome sight. He's a total mess.
I'm used to orc decorations.
He has no visible possessions on him. He has been mangled and stripped it down of everything, although he does have tatters of his original clothing, which they did not bother to remove or preserve in any way. And he actually looks to be fairly well dressed, like almost noble garb. There's some fancy patterning imprinted on his clothing. He looked to be someone of reasonable wealth, or it's not the kind of garb you expect to find on a random person in the Forbidden Lands. It's the kind of garb for somebody that is royalty, nobility, or working closely with them.
I want to put my ear to his chest and just listen for a heartbeat.
Well, you lean up against his open rib cage, and
Nice.
and you hear nothing from inside.
You said he has the foxtails around his neck too.
Yeah, he's got a string of 9 foxtails with some blood splattered on them, hung on like twine around his neck. This is sort of part of their ritual of brutality is to do this. They want him they want to dress him up to look like a wild spirit animal of some kind. It's part of the theatric ritual.
I'm gonna take the tails.
Okay. You got him.
Yeah, these guys are definitely dead guys. So, to Aylesbury?
Please.
All right.
When we're approaching Aylesbury, if there's any way to go by that ranger's shack and just see if he's got any more little herbs sitting in, jars. That'd be, something
Amy,
I'm
did you-
interested in.
Did you make a healing roll this morning?
No, Josh said I had to wait till midday.
Oh, midday. Okay.
Yeah. It'll happen in a little bit. All right. One sec. 1913. Checking something from earlier.
Josh, would you prefer I DM you on Discord or Visa Roll20?
Discord for now, since I'm aware of it. Sometimes I miss the Discords and have to be tipped off. If you message me on Roll20, it shows up on the stream.
So.
Yeah, buddy.
Just because, you're already sick, so it's not like you're going to be throwing up even more when you see what happened. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what happened here so you're not too surprised. So one time, about 2 months ago, maybe about 3 months ago, I don't know, it wasn't that long ago, but it was definitely more than a week, less than 4 months. We came to Aylesbury and we found a dungeon that had this guy that was making himself live forever with magic honey. That's why there were all the bees. You remember all the bees? You've been here. You know the bees.
Yeah, they're totally fine if you make an offering in this, like, sanctuary altar type place outside of town. They don't bother you.
Yeah, so it turns out everybody was eating that honey and it was making them live forever. And then we went and we killed that lich thing.
Do you think that honey will make me better?
No, because we killed the honey lich and now it doesn't make honey anymore. And everybody else died because they got old really quickly and died of old age.
What?
Yeah, everyone in the town is dead except Oros the Sigilist, but he works for me now.
What? I was
Surprise!
here 4 months ago.
We didn't kill them. But yes, they are all dead.
But what you did led to their death.
Well, we didn't know it would kill them.
Be honest. Did
We
you?
didn't. No! How would we have known that killing the honey lich would make all these people that hadn't even told us how old they were die of old age?
The people are usually pretty honest that no one dies around there. Did you even consider it? Did you stop to consider that your actions would have consequences?
If I say yes, will you stop asking me questions like that?
Sure, I'm just starting to wonder if I made a great decision choosing to travel with you guys.
Oh, you most definitely did, because I will never let you die.
Well, I was not here when this happened. I can only assume liches are bad.
Oh, he was super evil. The second he saw us, all the things gonna fall from the ceiling, and he was fighting us, and he was like, "You're gonna regret the day you ever got in here," and he smelled really good, and then we fought him, and then we took pieces of his body, and then I ate a piece, and it made me go from an old wolf into a young wolf again. What'd you ask?
I'm just assuming that eventually all these people probably would have turned into some weird honey lich type monster with their immortality.
I didn't even stop to consider that.
We're good people.
I'm sure the lich at some point was a good person.
I don't know.
But like the people didn't even know about the lich. Or did they? They didn't tell us, so how were we to know it was connected to anything and he was keeping them alive? They also didn't know that the honey was what was keeping them alive. We couldn't have known.
Zoe is very disturbed by all of this information.
I feel like you tell me that you traveled on the Forbidden Lands a lot, but like, it sounds like you haven't seen much. Where everywhere we go, everything we see is terrible.
Sounds like you guys are creating a lot of terrible things.
I mean, they killed a lich.
Yeah, I'd say that's check one for a good thing.
You also said that you blew up someone's house and you tried to burn down an inn that I was inside.
Again, I did that trying to get you out.
Again, arson is a felony.
And we didn't blow up that guy's house. We were trying to do some magic and it just
Ah, yeah.
You never seen a spell backfire?
Oh, yeah. Magic's dumb.
Why are we in Aylesbury?
A good city.
Because someone wanted to come in.
I thought there were people to talk to when I suggested this place.
Again, surprise.
Can I roll to see if I die of dysentery?
You're not that lucky. Uh,
I have 2 strength and I'm down 1 permanently, so I might.
yeah, it's possible. But it'll happen in the daytime, and you're going to arrive in Aylesbury in the late morning. So the party is making their way into the forest, and you start to see landmarks that remind you of the outskirts of Aylesbury. There are some winding dirt paths, old hunting trails. The town had connections out into the forest because they sort of subsisted off of the local land. And so as you get close to the town, you start seeing lots of hiking trails, lots of hunting trails, things like that. You reach a point where up ahead you can make out the one of the outlying border structures of Aylesbury, a small overgrown shed. When you were here last time, the town consists of about a dozen or so buildings in a sparse area of forest. It's not even built in a proper clearing. It's like a town that has trees grown throughout it. It's sort of just a settlement right in the woods. And the people lived very close with the local wildlife. The buildings up ahead that you can make out the outlines of have moss growing on the roofs. The whole town appears to be in just as ill of repair as it was the last time that you were here. You can faintly make out over near the center of town the old windmill, which is not spinning, and it is conspicuously quiet. There are no bees buzzing. There is no one to be seen. And the 1 or 2 buildings that you can make out up ahead, close enough to see in detail, have the doors hanging slightly ajar. You can also make out what appears to be a a large white lump on the side of the windmill near the center of town. It looks like a 5 to 6 foot diameter white lump just on the side of the windmill, about halfway up its height, and you can't tell what the hell that is. Everything is quiet. You are not greeted. You do not see anyone around anywhere.
I'm gonna head over to Oros's place and knock on his door.
You see the old rough stone tower on the edge of town. As you approach the building, there's a distinct smell of decay, rot, a bad stench coming from the building. And as you knock, your knock sort of reverberates and echoes back in a strange way, and you see some glowing runes faintly light up and then dull down on the door. It's the most fortified building in town. It's mostly made of stone with little arrow slits. It's like a teeny tiny fortress, and it's got a heavy oak door that has faint glowing runes on it.
Okay, before I do anything else, I'm just gonna yell.
Oros, it's me, Walga. Are you home? Open the door.
There's no answer.
Oros, this isn't funny. Open the door.
Is there any way for me to figure out what these runes are that are on his door, and if there's a way to dispel them?
Good question. One sec.
Yes, I can look in. No, dispel magic ink. Dispel magic. I can sense magic, dispel magic. Yeah, I can automatically sense magic, but if I want to know more, I must cast sense magic. The spell is also required to detect obscured magic.
All right. So you're using what? Sense magic?
Yeah, I've got to use sense magic.
Okay.
And that says, using the spells required to detect obscured magic, your power level must then be equal to or higher than the power level of the obscure magic spell. I don't know if he's using obscure magic here, but if I want to know more about what kind of magic is involved in any spell, I must cast sense magic.
Okay. It's not obscured. It is
so
some sort of sigil magic, symbol magic that has been cast on the door. It's not obscured from sight. After seeing it flash a bit, you can clearly make out that it's still visible, just the outline of it. It just wasn't super noticeable until you touched it. And it seems like, it seems like it's some sort of symbol that is set to trigger under a certain condition. And that is as much as you can tell. If you want to cast sense magic, I can allow you to know in full detail what it does.
Tell you what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to crack open that vial of his blood that I took from him, take a whiff of it, and I'm going to use willpower to use my hunting instincts.
Okay.
And what that does is allows me to designate a person as my prey. In order to do that, they either have to be line of sight or there must be a scent to follow, which
Sure.
I'm going to catch his scent from his blood.
Okay.
And then the number of willpower I spend equals the number of days that I can follow my prey's scent.
Okay.
Because I'm just trying to figure out if he's here
Yeah.
or if he went somewhere else.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So I'm going to use one willpower to mark him as my target for 1 day.
Okay. Expend your willpower, take a whiff, and
Oh, that's some good stuff.
you sniff around here
Back on it.
to try to locate a trail. There is no discernible trail of his presence anywhere, but when you get near the narrow window slits, you can smell some of his scent. You are quite certain that he is inside of this building.
I share that with the group. I turn to Grunrock. Hey, Grunrock, you remember that sigilist Oros that worked for me? I think he's in there, and I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good.
There are some runes around the door. I don't know what they mean, but I can't think of what would have killed him unless the project I had him working on backfired.
Do the runes make sense to me around the door?
It's clearly sigil magic that has been cast on the door. It is an ongoing sigil spell, and the determining the effects of it would require sense magic. Casting sense magic. If you cast sense magic, at any power level, you can identify exactly what the rune is and what it does.
Well, I have no willpower, so I'm gonna go look at the tomb around the windmill.
Okay. As you go walking across the town square, you start to notice things that are not right, like body parts strewn about on the ground, half-eaten human remains scattered around, and just tatters of clothing, but no full bodies in one piece anywhere. You spot like a bloody, half-decayed digit off of a finger, old bloodstains splattered on stones, tatters of clothing. You see like an overturned wheelbarrow with with firewood
Cabbages.
just dumped. Yeah, old rotten food strewn in places. It looks like this town there was a violent event. When you reach the windmill, you look up and it looks like about halfway up the height of the windmill, which would be about like 7 or 8 feet up, too high to just like hop up and touch, a bit higher than that. There appears to be a lump of webbing on the side of the windmill, roughly the size of a cocoon for like a person. It's sagging a little bit in the middle, and it is just hanging there. It looks old, a little bit stretched, like it's starting to droop, weather stained, and you can faintly make out in the places where it's stretched a little bit, a couple of fingers poking out from between the strands. Just gnarled old half rotten fingers. It appears to be a web cocoon with a decaying body inside that has been here for some time.
Okay. And I don't see any other signs of webbing around or inside the windmill. Did I poke my head in there?
You can poke your head in the windmill if you'd like.
Yeah.
Inside the windmill, the place is ransacked. Tools and supplies are overturned. The grain that was being milled in here smells old and is stained and partly decayed. The door was hanging open when you approached, and there is a desiccated body up against one corner of the mill that appears so withered that it almost looks mummified. It's just a body. You can make a heal roll or a lore roll, whichever you are better at, just to know/notice something.
Definitely lore. I got one.
Okay. Stepping up and looking at the body, just from a short distance, you notice something weird. It looks like a withered, ancient, old, like mummified body that is like gray, shrunken, wrinkly, mostly bones, but with a bit of flesh on it, that looks ancient to the point where it's difficult to determine how long it's been there. There is a foul smell in the whole building that seems stronger around this body. The clothes on the body look not nearly as old as the body itself.
And I don't notice anything else in, like, lurking in the shadows or anything, like something.
No.
No, like no other webbing or anything inside either.
No. And there's not clear evidence of trauma to the body itself. It has one arm kind of partially reaching up the wall, and it's sort of sideways and just like dangling there, and not dangling, just leaned up against the wall in an awkward pose, and it looks just very shriveled and mummified, but wearing clothes that look like they could have been worn by somebody yesterday.
Yeah, if there's any like unique or possibly identifying things on the body, like a pendant or a ring or anything, I'd grab that to show the party, and then I'd head back. Let them know.
It's a very... Okay. You can check over the body and find nothing of the sort. The person is actually just carrying... Next to the body is like a garden spade, just like a small gardening tool that looks in fine condition. It's just laying near one of the hands of the body. There was nothing else carried on the body. The actual interior of the windmill, and in general, the whole town situation, things are very cluttered and dense, and there's a lot of growth and a lot of mess. And so if you generally want to search for valuables or belongings, it's a quarter-day action that you can do to try to find those around town. But checking, I'm just saying as a general message to everybody.
Okay.
But as far as just like patting down the body and seeing if it had anything in its pockets, the answer is no.
Okay. Yeah, I'll snag the spade because it's in good condition.
Sure.
And head back to the party.
So I feel like someone doesn't like when we set things on fire, but I don't like that, and I think we need to burn it to the ground. I'm just pointing at the webby, cocoony, fingers sticking outy mess of white glob.
I have a feeling it's probably wet and gooey inside, so fire might not do too much.
Yeah, but that rotten grain silo will burn.
What's the
Sure.
point of burning it? It's not like the creature is here right now. That's its food for later.
Or maybe it's turning into an evil creature.
Do you not know how spiders work?
To me it looks more like a cocoon.
Have I ever seen any massive, like, human-sized cocoons, Josh?
Laurel.
I mean, ultimately, we don't need to stay here. This is not what we were hoping it was.
I want to leave. Please.
Okay. You think you might know something of note here, dog. You have seen something like this before, and it wasn't pretty. You saw something like this in a region that your tribe traveled through once, that had been laid waste to by a hive of giant humanoid insectoid monstrosities that would just devour and ransack settlements and towns and drag off people as food or slaves, and sometimes would web people up and leave them behind in states like this. The whole vibe of this town, the state of the bloody aftermath of some sort of thing, the webbing, reminds you of what you saw when passing through a territory like that. For getting 2 successes on the lore roll, I will go a little bit further and say that the legends of your tribe say that these insectoids are of some sort of demonic origin because they are not part of the old legends, and it's believed that they arrived sometime during the events of the great demon flood that preceded the blood mist. So they are either demons or arrived in connection with them around that time several centuries ago.
Okay. I regale these tales to everyone, and I say chances are they've moved on, but we should leave in case they decide to come back for a snack, and keep an eye out for any large insect-like, demonic-like creatures.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I am done with demons.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
So, should we head towards the hollows?
No.
We could move more northeast towards Red Hook and muster there. Last time we were there, there wasn't anyone there.
I'm going to declare that this exploration of the town and the surroundings concludes our morning. We are in daytime now. Zoe, go ahead and make your healing roll, or Ralgar can make the healing roll to see if it cures your food poisoning or not.
Would you rather blame me or blame yourself?
I don't know. Go ahead. buddy.
It's 5 dice.
It's 5 dice. Roll them.
Well, I can't think of a way that I can push that. It's an antidote that I gave you, and it either works or it doesn't.
Have you tried CPR?
That's another point of strength and agility damage.
My strength is broken.
You become more violently ill, and you are leaned against a wall while your friends are exploring the town. You lay eyeballs on some nasty remnant of the battle. It makes you vomit, and you pass out in the mud. Your friends just see you lying face down on the ground unconscious.
Oh, jeez, Gwenrock, I don't think my antidote worked.
I think it made it worse.
I'll get her. We need to get into the trees.
Yup.
We'll
Let's
lift her
take her
up
with
and
us.
try and push deeper and make a camp so she can rest, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to make camp in this hex but outside town?
How long does she have? Do we have a feel for how long she can last?
She's strength broken. She is unconscious until she is able to recover strength, and she will not do that as long as the disease persists. So she's going to need to be treated for a day with medicine before she's going to be coherent enough to communicate and recover. She's full on passed out with a brutal infection. She's probably pale, clammy, and dehydrated.
Okay. So we're gonna
On
have
the
to
way
run
out
to
of-
the settlement.
Or
Ultimately.
I could see if they still have herbs in that guy's hut. I can try to make her another medicine. At least I could be giving it to her while we're going somewhere better. See if it works.
See, the trouble is our locations that are close to us are the Hollows or Lingmel, and walking into either one is basically turning ourselves in. But we've got to do something if we don't want her to die from this.
I
There could
mean,
be some medicine in town.
I could take her. I'm not wanted as far as I'm aware in any of these places. I've only been with you guys like a week and a half, maybe.
I keep forgetting you haven't been with us forever.
I'm pretty forgettable.
Make the call, Gwenrock. Where are we going?
Let's loot this place, find any herbs or medicine. Maybe we can get something for her, and then we'll push for.
I looked around. It's gonna take a quarter of the day to even loot one of these buildings.
Ralgar.
This place is a mess.
Check the rules. Her condition is rough, and you're not sure that she's going to survive this unless her body miraculously fights it off or she gets treatment. She's going to get a roll tomorrow to see if she recovers or dies. It can either be a healing roll or you can let her body make the endurance roll with whatever penalties it's got.
I mean, my healing without any antidotes or anything is only a 3.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
And
you got a +3 on the potion.
He did
yeah, but I used it.
for the self, and it didn't work.
You only rolled 5, so you need to roll one more.
I thought it was a +2 for that.
You got 3 successes.
I told you
Josh
you could
said it
have
was
+3 instead of +2. Do you want to roll another die? Because you got so many successes on that crafting roll, I decided to give you 3 instead of 2. No.
Well, guys, she's not gonna make it till we get to another town. We gotta find something in this town to help her.
We can try going in that tomb where the honey was. Maybe there's more magic honey.
I'm thinking about that. We killed the Lich, right? And then we grabbed as much off his body as we could. But something else still chased us out of there after we killed him. That's what happened.
It was a swarm of ghost bees.
Of course it was ghost bees.
Yeah, and I fed my last piece to
And a bunch of undead.
We have to fight our way in and out to get back to that honey lich body, and I can't even guarantee it's still there. It might have decomposed.
I think honey's pretty good at preserving things, but the hordes of undead might be problematic. I never went in. Our other option is looting the town and hoping a potion does the trick.
We barely made it out of that tomb with 4 of us. I think we're gonna loot the town and hope the insect people don't come back.
I think I remember there being a witch nearby. She was dealing in sacrifices, but
Well,
maybe she has medicine. Maybe you guys loot and I run for the witch.
I could go back up to Oros's tower, try to get through those runes and see if he had something in his wizard tower. You go find a witch. Dog, you loot the rest of the town?
I'm not super great at looting. I'm working with one eye here. I mean, if I could transform into an animal, I could fly into one of the windows up top, maybe. I just don't have any willpower.
Quick, try something heroic.
I run to the building and I start scaling the walls of the tower to get to the window.
The Sigillus Tower?
Yeah.
It's arrow slits, but
Like, what?
the top level of the tower looks like it has a viewing platform or a little balcony way up high. So if you want to make a, what's the skill that would be associated with climbing? It's like an athletic. I forget what it's called in this. Let me see. Oh, it's just a move roll. It's a move roll to climb up.
Yeah, I'm totally great at those.
That's just what you need. Just don't fail too hard.
I roll 3. How real quick, Josh, how tough is the grout of this tower?
It's an old tower with a decent amount of footholds, but it is a bit crumbly and treacherous. It's if you succeed on a move roll, you will get up to the top, or you can seek some sort of entrance. If
I'm just
fail, that means that you're unable to find a way up that's not risky for you, and so you can push it to try to take a riskier path up.
I'm just wondering if I can use this fine quality spade I just found to jam it to get like a +1, like jam it in the ground sometimes to pull myself up.
Sure. Add an item die to like use it as a piton. What's the word? Piton
Piton.
as a climbing implement. You can jab it between the
Titan?
stones and then stand on it and pull yourself up.
I got one.
Nice. All right, you do that. You pull yourself up. You get some footholds. You stick it in another place. You manage to make your way up to a small, like viewing balcony, up on the upper level of the tower. There is a smaller door here that is has no kind of lock or anything on it. You can open it
There's a
up.
door
and
up
get inside.
here. Yeah, I opened the door.
Dog, I can't believe you did that. That was awesome.
Get inside.
Yeah, go inside.
Okay. All right. You enter. This place reeks. You open the door and just are overwhelmed with the stench of death. This place appears to be in pristine condition. Nothing is knocked over. Nothing is disturbed. It's a lot like it was the last time you visited here. Wait, no, you were not in here. It is a well-kept tower. It is a well-kept mage's laboratory and living space. The bed is unmade. There are many books on the walls. There's a teacup that is like evaporated down to brown sludge, sitting on a shelf, and the deeper you get into this tower, the worse the stench of death is.
Okay. Since it's in decent enough condition, I'm kind of keeping an eye out for anything that might look like a proverbial first aid kit kind of thing.
Sure.
Anything that I might think would help or would also be useful just in general. But I'm going to make my way down to where I think the front door is.
You go through a small study and then sort of a laboratory space where you see books strewn on shelves, and this guy has symbols drawn all over his house. He's a sigilist and he studies runic magic, so he has drawn, carved, etched, sketched symbols just all over every surface in here. He has a robust collection. You can pick up 5 units of herbs just from jars and shelves and things stocked around this guy's house.
Okay. 5 herbs.
As you make your way downstairs, you peek down from the staircase, and you see at the base of the staircase the source of the stench. It is another one of the desiccated, mummified-looking bodies. This one wearing light gray robes, and it appears to have it's just laying sort of diagonally at the base of the staircase. Desiccated, mummified, ancient looking, but wearing robes that look fairly new.
Does he have anything on him that would look like he was a spellcaster or a sigilist, a marker? I don't know what sigilists use.
He's got a small silver ring with like a twisting runic symbol on it, on one of his mummified fingers. It also looks like he was carrying a book that's just lying on the ground, face down in a disheveled state.
Okay. I'll grab the book and the ring
Sure.
and keep an eye out for anything that might be in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then go for the front door, I guess.
Okay. You make your way to the front door. It's bolted from behind. You can just pull the bolt to the side, and it unlatches and slightly open.
Okay. I'll pull it open.
Okay. As you pull it open, the runes glow slightly, and then fade. It's like as you move the door, they glow like they're kind of starting to activate to some degree, and then as the door goes still in a different state, they fade off again. It seems like manipulating the door seems to disturb the runes, but nothing visibly happens, and they slowly fade back down.
If I put the ring on, does it still do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll open the door all the way if it doesn't like do anything.
Okay. He opens the door. The stench of death wafts out of the tower.
Can I like toss something through it? Like, is there just some rubble down here I can throw through the archway?
Yeah. You want to pick up a rock and throw it through the door?
Sure, I will start with a rock.
Just through the open doorway?
Yeah.
All right, you do that, and you chuck it, and it bounces inside. Makes exactly the sound you would expect it to. Thong.
Okay, so it is quite literally a barrier. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Hi, dog.
I'll just drop these herbs from the balcony. And I show you like the 5 herbs I found.
Oh yeah.
So
So
I head back. Yeah, I'll head back upstairs and drop the herbs, and I'll search the tower if we're gonna stay here for a quarter day.
Yeah, it'll take a quarter day.
But I go up to the balcony to throw the herbs down to our friend here.
Yeah. So I'll then immediately get to crafting.
Okay.
Can I up the potency of this salve by using more ingredients?
No. I think it's just a unit of herbs to do the thing. However many successes you get is how many bonus dice the heal roll will get.
All right.
And it'll consume a unit of herbs.
If he uses a cooking pot, does he get a +2?
2 successes there.
That's 2.
All right. The heal roll will get a +2. Searching the tower will take a quarter day. He's done crafting. Grunrock, what are you up to? Anything? You just want to be on watch? You got any particular activities you want to do?
Well, my initial thought was to try and run for the witch and see if I could figure out a way to heal her, like in trade for something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys want me to hang tight, or should I go for that in case this plan fails?
Go. I'm not losing someone else.
I'm a run for the witch.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. All right. You make your way towards the witch's cottage. And it was on the outskirts of town, a small one-story stone structure with a wooden roof, different architectural style from the rest of the town, surrounded by a pretty vast and still well-kept looking vegetable garden. There's a little fence around the whole plot of land surrounding the cottage. There are flowering vines growing all over the fence. There's clearly visible like big vegetables growing all over the garden, and the fence is closed. There's a little path leading up to the cottage, and there is a bell attached to the fence at the gate that you recall having rung last time when approaching. There's also a big stone offering bowl, and you were told last time that you came here that you're supposed to make an offering to the witch and then return the next day if you would like to meet with her. That was the story last time.
I'll ring the bell and shout out, "Are you still alive? Are you in there? I'm here to trade."
All right. There is a young man, looks probably in his late teens, maybe early 20s at most, kind of scrawny, a bit pale, that cracks open the door, leans outside. Who's asking?
A traveler, but one of my friends is very sick. I need some kind of medicine or healing.
I see. You've reached the cottage of Tassia the witch. She is not in right now, but I can send for her if you would like to speak to her. No one else is allowed on these premises, and I am under strict orders to keep this cottage protected against intrusion, lest she return and be displeased. If you wish, you can make an offering in the bowl. Burn whatever you would like. The quality of the offering might entice her to come visit.
I'm not sure it will burn, but I have a few things I think she'd be interested in.
That's not my concern. Good luck. He closes the door and goes back inside. You hear a ka-chunk from the other side, like a bolt being locked.
I'll pull Terramalta's spike out of my inventory and throw it in the offering pin, the offering bowl, and try and stoke a fire on it.
You're putting what in there?
The linchpin spike from Terramalta's chest. That like metal piece that was in the center of her armor.
Sure.
I'll throw that in there. I don't think it'll burn, but I'll try.
Okay. All right. You do that. You place it in the bowl, and there's a tinderbox next to the bowl, like you're supposed to place burnt offerings inside of it. When you place that spike in the bowl, it is going to rapidly rust and decay away, and the little pile of orange rust is going to absorb into the bowl and disappear, and there's like a sulfurous smell that rises off of the bowl in wisps of smoke. The bowl itself is starts to glow faintly, as though it is heated almost to a molten point, until finally the whole stone bowl cracks and splits into two like slightly canted semicircles of stone with smoldering smoke rising off of it.
Well, I may have made her mad. I don't know if I can burn anything else in this bowl. Hey, what's plan B? The bowl broke!
You call out?
Yeah, I'm shouting up to the guy in the cabin.
I'm still outside the fence. I haven't broken the rules, but the bowl broke.
There's a kashunk and a kashunk, and the door opens, and the guy pokes his head out, and he says, I've received word that Our Lady is very pleased with your offering, but it will take her some time to arrive. She will be here on the morn. I would ask that you leave until then.
Can she come to Aylesbury instead of here if I've got to wait for her?
She does not travel, for she has no sight. She cannot walk, because she cannot see where she is going, and she is very, she is not able to move easily.
So she'll be here in the morning?
Yes.
I'll be here.
And I'll start running back to the town.
Okay.
Oh no!
I'm just searching a tower.
Okay. Yeah. If nobody else has any other action, I think everybody was accounted for this evening. So,
So what are you doing this evening?
All right. So
I'm a fever dreaming.
we're gonna wrap in about 5 minutes here, I think. The you search the tower. It's difficult to summarize the state of this tower. This is a fully stocked mage's tower with books, valuables, and food, various supplies. The obvious valuables that you find are a small collection of just jewelry and things from around, and silverware and things like that. Things that are obviously made of precious metals or stones or pieces of artwork, things like that. Which I can give you a summary of the value of that afterwards.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth a gold or more. Nice. There's also a fairly well-stocked library on symbol magic here that someone could use to study those sorts of things. He has some collection of journals and private notes that would take some time to go through. Probably the most noteworthy thing is that there is a dark wood box that is about the size of a bread box, like a little locker, a little chest, that has no visible lock, just the faintest seam running along it, and is covered in runes. And you can't see any visible way to open it.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I take all the things that are obviously valuable. I will get the box covered in runes. And seeing as how I see all these runes all over the place and all over the box, I'll grab the books about rune magic to see if I can figure out some rune stuff to...
Sure.
I don't know if I can do rune magic as a druid, but I'd want to try and figure something out.
It's sorcerer magic.
Okay, well, I would tell...
It's possible that Ralgar could learn it given the materials and the time, but I'd have to look into that. I don't remember if you're locked into
I just mean that I'm going to get it just because someone might be able to...
You had teased me with that previously, Josh.
Yeah, I think you can learn different schools of magic, but I'll have to double check. It's been a long time since I looked at
It's
it.
not even a school of magic that's in the Player's Handbook. I was like, are you teasing me with DLC?
It is.
Yeah.
It's symbolism magic.
Oh, well, then, yeah. Gimme.
Okay, so you regroup with the rest of the party. What do we want to do? Let's sort of move along through the evening here.
I think we stay here and I roll as many crafting and healing attempts as I can in the next... I'm not sleeping until I can heal Ames.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, you can try crafting. Well, you don't know the result of which salves are better or worse, so you're gonna use the one.
Yeah,
that you
I'm gonna so if we're evening, then I'm craft, heal, until.
Well, she substitutes the healing roll for her endurance roll to resist the disease, so it's a one-time thing.
Oh,
This isn't the repeated healing roll to shorten the duration of something. This is a healing roll to treat disease, which if you are treating her over the course of the day, then at the end of that 24-hour period, she gets to use your healing roll in place of her endurance roll.
Then there's the strength break as well.
Uh-huh. What about the strength break?
Do we have to heal that as well?
She'll recover her strength when she rests if the disease is treated successfully.
Okay.
All right. What you want to camp out in town?
Either that or we go over to the witch's place and camp out there.
I say camp near the witch's place.
She wouldn't let anybody on her grounds from what you were told.
We
Near
can't
it.
be we can't be on her grounds, but maybe
You could camp out near
somewhere
it.
in the hex.
Yeah.
You want to just go into the woods some distance from
Yeah.
the witch's hut and camp just out of sight
Yeah.
a little ways?
Basically not be in the town.
Okay. All right. Who's on scouting duty?
It's not going to be one eye.
I'll do it.
Okay.
My
My
scouting
goal
is
is to-
4.
Be at that cabin at daybreak.
Okay. All right. That. Okay. The night is uneventful. It is. It is warm, muggy, cloudy, and no precipitation. You encounter no one. You just hear the heavy sounds of insects buzzing in the trees, and the night passes without incident. Morning rises, and take it away. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna be at that cabin door and ring the bell as soon as I get there.
Okay.
I'm
I'm gonna
with
be
him.
I'm carrying Zoe.
You got her.
Okay. You bang, bang, bang on the door. When you approach the
There's
grounds,
whatever I can kosherly do.
the stone bowl is still cracked and charred from the previous day. When you approach the grounds, the fence opens for you. It as you approach, leading the way to a little cobblestone path going up to the front door of the cottage. And as you approach the front door of the cottage, that creaks open of its own accord as well. It's pretty dark inside. The whole place smells strongly of incense, and there's like a faint layer of smoke inside. And it is dark. There's almost nothing lit except the low embers of a fire and little incense sticks that are burning all around the interior of the house. You see, next to the fireplace, in a creaky old rocking chair, the hunkered form of an old woman. Were you the one that came in here last time?
Yeah, I came with Velas last time.
It's the
She was
same.
coming up here to make the offering.
It's the same old woman that you encountered last time with like bandages over her eyes, leaned over, long gray hair, pulled back in a tight bun, long gnarled fingers, and she is just rocking silently next to the embers of the old fire. You see no signs of the groundskeeper. It is just you and her alone in this building. And she turns her head a little bit in your direction when you walk in, as though she's aware of your presence somehow, but she says nothing. You just see her grin faintly, and she just has jagged, nasty, rotten teeth in her mouth.
I'm here to ask for healing, for a blessing.
Your offering was fascinating.
I only had the one.
Powerful, dark, demonic magic you placed in my plate.
Took it straight from Terramolda.
Terramolda. Demon champion of rust. The chosen warrior of his clan. Terror of the lands. The walking scourge. The smoldering force that slew a dozen armies. You bested it, huh?
With some help, I pulled the spike from the chest and the armor fell limp. I kind of figured it gave her a life. A life for a life seems a decent trade to me.
I appreciate your offering. It has earned you an audience, but I rarely do charity. Why should I help this friend of yours?
Because she's not supposed to die here.
And what has she fallen ill to, may I ask?
It seems some kind of illness of the stomach, but I don't quite know what.
An ordinary ailment for an ordinary traveler. How could such a thing sway the fate of these lands, I only involve myself with matters of consequence, not the petty problems of petty peasants.
As she says that,
Take
I'll
her
lean
glasses off
Yeah,
and
I was
show
gonna
her eyes.
I was gonna say I'll lean her up and like hold an eye open so she sees the golden iris.
The old woman turns. Her jaw drops for a moment. The old woman turns. Her jaw drops for a moment. What are you laughing about, Adam?
The witch is blind.
I
She
know.
clearly sees something.
I know. She turns.
That's the gif that I just dropped in the group chat of Toffee. Like,
Yeah. No, she turns in the direction as though she sees. Her jaw drops. She quickly and spryly stands up to her feet as though she's not crippled at all, pulls the tattered cloth off of her face, has glowing yellow eyes, and immediately transforms into Marigal, who steps forward and says, "Zoe!" And he picks her up and slings her over his shoulder, and he says, "I'll handle this session."
I knew it.
what the
I
fuck?
knew it.
What the fuck?
I knew it.
I didn't.
In the back of my mind, I was like, "This has got to be Miracle."
Bill knows everything. Oh, Bill always knows.
I didn't trust her. She pretty much, if someone's covering their eyes in this game, it has to be Miracle. Like, that's the only time anyone's had eye coverings.
It's also a blind woman who can't walk out. It's also a blind woman who you were just told can't walk outside, yet somehow she was elsewhere and showed up when summoned.
Yeah. And also,
But how
when
did
we walked
he-
in, it was
Yeah,
basically
she's a
together.
witch with a helper. I mean,
But
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. All right. Experience. Did you participate in the game session? Boop.
do I get to qualify as participating in the game session if I nearly die of dysentery?
Yes.
Yes.
Nearly dying of
Yay.
dysentery is all part of it. Did you travel through at least one hex that you had not visited before? Yep. Did you discover a new adventure site? No. Did you defeat one or more monsters? No. Did you find a treasure worth of gold or more? Yes. I'm going to follow up between sessions on the contents of the Mage's Tower because there's a lot going on there. And I need time to detail it out properly. Did you build a function in your stronghold? No. Activate your pride? No. Suffer from dark secret? No. We roleplayed one of them a bit. Well, okay, hold on. I got to take a minute and think through all four of these. That's a no. That's a no.
I don't think mine came up at all, so...
That's a no. I think we alluded to several of them, but I don't think any of them were directly impactful enough to count as
Suffering.
having impeded you. Yeah. So I'm not going to give out any XP for Dark Secrets, even though a couple of them came up plot wise. Did you risk your life for another player character?
Bill climbed a tower to try to find medicine for Zoe.
Yeah,
That's
that
all
wasn't
I've got.
life risking though. He could have botched it horribly, and he just would have been
with
unconscious.
a move of 3, I mean, no, yeah.
You could have failed, pushed it, and then botched it with a triple skull, and you would have just been knocked out. That wasn't life risking.
No, yeah.
It was harm risking, but and
It was heroic.
did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
Bill climbed a tower using a shovel.
Grunrock gave up the Terramon spin.
I was gonna say that because that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Grunrock, you can have one. Terramalda
Josh should
Spike
get
was
one.
just the kind of dark offering.
I mean, and it wasn't a Terramalda spike, but it was a spade using to climb a tower. So if we're just handing out points,
Josh should get a pin for that twist ending of like, whoa! Oh, it's been Miracle all
all
along.
right, Josh, you can have 1 XP.
Give him 2 because his acting of Ralgar was impeccable.
Oh yeah, 2.
All right, I get some XP
That
this
was an
session.
extraordinary action.
Thank you. All right, so that will do it. We, as far as I know, are open going forwards. We'll probably play 2 weeks from today. It might be, it'll be 2 or 3 weeks from today. I'll post in the Discord and try to get a YouTube event lined up so that people know when it's going to be. I think we're good to play 2 weeks from today on the 31st, as far as I know. So if you don't hear otherwise, that'll be the plan, and I'll try to get it posted even if it is. Before that happens, next week on the 26th, there will be the first session proper of the Shadowrun campaign with 2 of the players here and 2 others. We did our session 0, which was a flashback session with partially made childhood versions of the final characters. Since then, we've been building out the actual characters for the party, and we'll be jumping into the first session proper of our Shadowrun campaign. So if you want groovy cyberpunk background music and some pretty cool role-playing, join us for that. It's going to be dope. We have a cool setup, and you'll be meeting a brand new party of Shadowrunners. So expect that next Wednesday, and then the Monday after that, we should be back here playing this. So anybody else have anything to say or announce before we wrap?
I love you.
If you
We
haven't
love
already,
you.
check out the Discord. You'll get like a live stream of consciousness of our zaniness.
I just saw
All
that
these sessions come up.
Darth Zirian, I don't even know if you're still watching, but I see that you followed an hour ago during the stream when I was narrating, so thank you for the follow. I think we're 1 follow away from hitting 50 and unlocking some Twitch features, so if people, if anybody's watching and has not followed, we would appreciate a follow. We're very close to hitting that 50 threshold and unlocking some stuff, so. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and join us for session 41 in about 2 weeks.
Arrivederci.